The Jets.
The New York Jets.
The Jets Ward.
Jets, Jets. What's going on, guys? And welcome back to another Jets Ward live stream. I am your host, Ryan Ward. And man, it has been a very, very busy day. The Jets get their first victory of the year, beating the Cincinnati Bengals 39-38. And honestly, before we get into anything today, the Jets have been going through a lot this week. Honestly, from the owner, Woody Johnson, calling out Justin Fields, basically putting the blame on him for the struggles with this team, calling out Justin Fields, and to the concept of who is going to start for this team. Tyrod Taylor, Justin Fields, Brady Cook. There were people calling for Brady Cook, to the point where Tyrod got hurt, knee injury, and Justin Fields had to start today. And I know I wasn't confident in Justin Fields going out there and balling out based on what we saw the last 2 weeks. But one of the rough things, again, like I said, it was a lot going on today. An hour before the game, the New York Jets and their fans got awful, awful news of the passing of a Jets legend and somebody who I grew up watching and really, really loved. Somebody who made me a even bigger fan of the New York Jets, and I got his jersey right here, Nick Mangold. He was dealing with a lot of kidney failure. He went on Twitter and all social media asking for a kidney transplant, and he ended up passing away today. And there was a lot of emotions going on today. A lot of Jets fans grew up watching him. He was a big part of this organization on and off the field. And he was a big part of my childhood growing up too. He was a legend, man. And just my prayers and condolences go out to the family. And man, it just sucks. But so the Jets were going into a big, big part of the day today, going against the team that just got off beating a division rival, the Cincinnati Bengals. Or the Cincinnati Bengals beating the Pittsburgh Steelers last Thursday night. Joe Flacco looking like the Joe Flacco of old. And honestly, it looked like it was going to be a really rough matchup for our New York Jets today. The Jets were without their starting cornerback, number one cornerback, Sauce Gardner. They were without Garrett Wilson, number one receiver, without number two wide receiver, Josh Reynolds. And Quincy Williams came back, which was great. But the Jets were still dealing with a lot of injuries. And Justin Fields starting. We did not know what Justin Fields we were going to get. And the Bengals still have T. Higgins, Jamar Chase, Chase Brown, Noah Fant, all of these weapons. And Joe Flacco was looking pretty good, honestly. The Jets defense struggled mightily with them today. And Jamar Chase did what he always does. He ended up with 90-plus yards. Joe Flacco looked very, very good, running for a couple first downs, getting a rushing touchdown, a couple passing touchdowns. Beautiful ball to T. Higgins at one point as well. But honestly, the Jets were resilient today. They fought and fought and fought. And Justin Fields played very, very well. I was very happy with what he did today. And just giving you guys some of the box score stuff like I normally do after these games. So going into the box score, the New York Jets really came in with a struggling offense. Honestly, it was rough for the offense the past couple of weeks. So total offense today, they had a total of 502 offensive yards, which was fantastic compared to what we had the last couple of weeks. It looked like Justin Fields was gun shy, ended up getting benched last week for Tyrod, was scared to throw, and he was in his worst mindset. It was rough for Fields the past couple of weeks. And today, he's going against the Bengals team defense that's not great. Trey Hendrickson came back. Unfortunately, he got injured as the game went on as well. But Fields went 21 for 32, had a 99 rating, QBR of 67, which is okay. A 244 yards passing, 7.6 average, 1 passing TD, 11 carries for 31 yards. That's what we want in Justin Fields. That's what we need in Justin Fields. We don't need him to throw for 400 yards a game. We don't need him to throw 300 yards a game. We need him to be the athletic quarterback that we brought him in here to do. Make the easy throws. Take your shots with your legs. Sometimes take your shots with your arm down the field. We need him to be concise, get in a rhythm, and honestly, I think the Jets called a great game. Tanner Engstrand, I think, called a great game today, getting Justin Fields into that feel, getting him into that motion, getting him comfortable, which was great. And Dana, welcome. JETS, Jets. Can we go 10-7, Ryan? Hit that like. Man, I wish, man. I hope the Jets get their bye week next week, which is great. Coming off a big win. Let's see how AG comes off this bye week. Can they go 10-7? It would be a tall order. But there are some teams that the Jets, I think, can steal one from. If the defense can consistently play the way they've been playing, granted, today was a rougher day for them, but if they can play like they've played the last couple of weeks going forward, getting the stops, keeping teams to 10 points, 13 points, 16 points, and the offense can perform like we did today and Justin Fields can stay consistent, I think we can win a couple more games. So for those fans who are wanting the Jets to tank, Justin Fields played a great game today. Honestly, for him, after the owner calling him out these past 2 weeks, or past week, basically bashing him, if we can only complete a pass, I'm glad Justin Fields really got to stick it to him this week. I love that Justin Fields played very well and had a really good rebound week. I think this was something Fields needed, and he got the Jets offense going because earlier in the game, the Jets were doing the same old thing, getting into the red zone and not being able to push it into the end zone. It was field goal after field goal. And luckily, Nick Folk never misses anymore, which is great. But we finally got that touchdown. Justin Fields throws a beautiful 15-yard pass with pressure in his face to Tyler Johnson with a great catch over the top. And the offense was grooving. They were moving. They were grooving. Breece Hall was getting going. Isaiah Davis had some big runs today as well. And honestly, Justin Fields looked comfortable. This was the Justin Fields I saw today that we saw in Pittsburgh last year, where he was doing the easy things, the little things, and then getting into a groove, using his legs to pick up first downs, using his arm to throw those underneath passes, and the players breaking tackles and getting more yards. And he looked better on the deep throws today as well. So was it an elite game? No. But for Justin Fields, this is what we need him to do to be able to win these games consistently. We need him to be consistent. We can't have him turning the ball over. We can't have him holding the ball too long. We need him to just be comfortable, utilize his legs, because that'll keep the offense or the defense honest as well. And then he can beat them with his arm. Arian Smith got involved today. Tyler Johnson got involved. Isaiah Williams had some good runs as well, good plays. But man, I was loving what I was seeing from the offense today. And there were times where I thought they could have done a little bit better. Olu Fashanu, shout out to him as well, only allowed one pressure today. The offensive line looked really good. I was very proud. Shout out to Mason Taylor, got his first touchdown today as well, which is great. And I want to give shout out to Breece Hall as well. The guy was elite today. He looked like the running back that we were all wanting him to be. Had 15 carries, 133 yards, 2 rushing touchdowns, and a passing touchdown as well. 3 total touchdowns for Breece Hall today. So with all these rumors going on about him being traded, I really honestly think, if the Jets lost today, then I think the Jets would have had a fire sale going into the bye week. I really do. Because if they were 0-8, there was no chance for them. And I don't think there's any chance for them now. I don't think they're going to go on a winning streak, making the playoffs or anything. But this was the Jets team that I really wanted to see. That competitive, don't give up, don't quit, that Aaron Glenn toughness. We saw that today. They weren't penalized that much. The team just kept fighting. They ground and pounded them. just utilized the run game, got the passing game going. It was consistent offense. I think Tanner Engstrand got into his bag a little bit once the offense started to flow as well. Schemed players open. And again, the receivers that the Jets had out there, they're number 3s or number 4s at best on other teams. They probably wouldn't even see the field on the Bengals team with their receiving core. But they were able, Tanner Engstrand was able to scheme them open and get our playmakers involved. And Isaiah Davis, shout out to him too, had a monster game for him. Breece Hall had a great game. And overall, just solid effort by the offense today. 254 total rushing yards today, which was great. We got to get the run game going if we want to win these games. And we were able to do it today. And I get the Bengals don't have that great of a defense. They don't. But they have some edge rushers to be able to come get the quarterback. If they have a defense that needs to be winning, that needs to be up, so that they can pin those guys back, those defensive ends, defensive tackles, so they can pin those guys' ears back and just pressure. They couldn't do it today because the offensive line stayed firm for the New York Jets and fought. And Olu Fashanu, bounce back game for him as well today. The Jets bullied the Cincinnati Bengals on the line today. That was what it was. It was the battle of the trenches, and the offensive line beat the Cincinnati Bengals defense. No sacks for Justin Fields today, so that was great. Breece Hall had a great game, finally getting into the end zone. And again, too, receiving. Tyler Johnson, shout out to him, came to play. So did Mason Taylor. Tyler Johnson, we had a total of 248 passing yards today. Tyler Johnson went 3 for 5 for 64 yards and a touchdown. Was consistent, was good, had great play, great routes for him today. Mason Taylor getting involved as well, 5 for 8 for 34 yards and a touchdown. This is what you love to see. You love to see these guys getting involved. And when Garrett Wilson comes back, this team, this offense, if they can play like this, it can be better. I think these guys can put up some points. I know it's rough, and I know it's one game. We need to see it consistently from Fields. We really do. But this was something that the Jets needed. They needed a bounce-back game. And they went into Cincinnati and stole it from them. Great comeback by this team, and it was no quit for them. And congrats to AG on his first win. Honestly, he deserves it, man. He's a Jet through and through, and somebody who wanted this job. And for him to finally get that first win, it must feel awesome for him. Honestly, this guy deserves it. He really does. And for the fans that were calling for him to get fired, one and done, if they went undefeated, or if they went defeated, if they didn't win a game, then I would be with you. And if it kept looking worse and worse, then maybe. And those sentiments can still come up. Let's say the Jets get worse and worse and just no consistency at all. The defense collapses. The offense collapses. Unless something like that happens, I don't see Aaron Glenn being one and done. Woody loves him. So, no, I don't think AG's going anywhere, and a great win for him today. This was the team that I really wanted to see from the Jets. If they didn't win, I still would have been proud because they fought. They continued to fight, and they just didn't give up. They didn't quit. That's what I want in my team. This was a team that I was proud of today. Honestly, I was proud of these guys today. AG, I think, was better with his decision-making. To go for 2 on those 2 touchdowns were fantastic decisions. Very savvy veteran coaches would do that. AG doing that, I really, really liked it. And it paid off for him. And the Jets were able to steal this one from the Cincinnati Bengals in Cincinnati, which was so good. And continuing on with this team, the special teams. Nick Folk was 3 for 3, had a total of 11 points today, which was great. Nick Folk is just consistent, man. The guy doesn't miss from wherever he is. He does not miss. And Austin McNamara just looking like a Pro Bowler punter as well. Great move by Muji to get him in here, and Nick Folk as well. The special teams have been the best units so far, best players so far. Austin McNamara looking like one of the best punters in football. Overall, the special teams did very well today for us as well. And getting into the last part too, defense only gave up a total of 398 yards to these guys. And rushing, they had 181 total yards. P. Ryan was their leading rusher with 9 carries for 94 yards and 1 touchdown. Chase Brown got into the end zone as well. And Joe Burrow had a rushing touchdown as well. Total passing yards, 217 for Joe Flacco. He was 21 for 34 with a 100.5 rating and a 47.5 QBR. The defense got beat up today. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. Malachi Moore, A.Z. Thomas, they were picked on by these veteran guys. And A.Z. Thomas is going to take his lumps. This was his first start. And you expect him to go against Jamar Chase and T. Higgins. That's a tough task for anybody, honestly. There are some really good cornerbacks that struggle with these guys. And Joe Flacco is a veteran in this game. He knows how to beat up on the younger players. So, A.Z. Thomas, it was a rough game. Honestly, it was. But I think he can rebound from this. I think he can learn from this. Brandon Stevens played pretty well as well today. I was very happy to see from him. Quincy coming back. I think there were some good things that he did. Had some missed tackles as well. It was a little rougher for him as well, but it was his first game back. But the Jets were able to hold these guys. Jamar Chase had 12 for 19 for 91 yards, 0 touchdowns. Had some big plays from him, but he's going to get his. The Jets were able to keep him out of the end zone, which was great. But overall, just a great win by the New York Jets today. I was really proud of this team today. They fought, and they gutted, and they came back when, honestly, I don't think a lot of Jets fans thought they would. With Justin Fields as your quarterback, when you're down by that much, because the Jets were down 24-16 at halftime. And they come back, and they don't really do much in the third quarter. And then the fourth quarter comes, and Samaje Perine has a big run, touchdown, and it just doesn't look good. But Justin Fields and that offense just kept pushing and fighting. And the defense came up with big stops at special moments, man. And they were able to just fight and grit and gut it out. And I was really proud of this team today. Shout out to AG. He deserved it to get this win. He really did. And to the players out there, they fought. I was really proud of the younger guys as well. This was a good win for the New York Jets today. And a great thing is, too, they get to go into the bye week next week. And there was one thing I wanted to talk about to you guys as well. The New York Jets, a couple weeks ago, were rumored to possibly be more active at the deadline than a lot of people think, possibly not trading their big pieces. Breece Hall could still be traded. I don't think Jermaine Johnson's going anywhere. Will McDonald, possibly, but I doubt it. I could see like Quincy Williams getting traded. I could see players like that, Michael Carter II getting traded. I think the Jets do need to trade some of those pieces. But one of the big things that I heard as well was that the Jets might try to go after some younger players, get younger talent in here. Ones that with really high upside, like the Juwan Briggs or a Jarvis Brownlee Jr., those types of players. And I think all Jets fans can agree those have been really solid moves by Darren Muji, bringing those guys in. And Harrison Phillips, too, being a stalwart on that defensive line who had a decent game today. But bringing in the younger talent, I think that's something that I really, really like, because I think the Jets do need to bring in some more players with high upside. And there are some young players that have not been getting their shots on their teams this year. And I was going to make it in another video, but being here with you guys, I think it would be fun to show you guys the ideas of some players that I think the Jets could go after with the trade deadline coming up. Players that are younger, that could fit this scheme. And I'll bring that up for you guys right now. So getting into it, those younger players, let me bring it up for you guys. And you guys could disagree. I would love to hear your opinions on this. If there's some players that you'd want to target. But some of the players that I have, one of the players that I see is Jackson Powers Johnson. He's a center / offensive guard from the Raiders. He's 22 years old, and he's been a healthy scratch from them. He hasn't been getting his proper usage. And I don't know if they're trying to force him to play guard when he's normally a center. But I know that the Jets are in need for some interior line depth, honestly. And Jackson Powers Johnson, I think if you bump him back to center, could be very, very good for this New York Jets team. He's gritty, he's powerful, he's a run first player, which I think is really, really good. And you get him involved. If you trade for him too, I don't think he's going to cost that much, especially since he's not getting utilized over there in Vegas. I think if you bring him in, I think that could be a very, very beneficial thing for the New York Jets. And Josh Myers is only on a 1-year deal. You bring Jackson Powers Johnson in and you keep Tippmann at right guard, or you move him to left guard, depending on what you want to do with Elijah Vera Tucker or John Simpson at the end of the year, because they're on 1-year deals as well. So he could be your center for the foreseeable future. Still young, still has a ton of upside. I think he could be a very, very interesting pick for the New York Jets. So, Dano, I know Dom was high on JPJ coming out. Don't know what happened since then. He plays for the Raiders, man. The Raiders' offensive line troubles have been highly documented. They just struggled with that. They don't know how to build it. Jackson Powers Johnson, they're trying to bump him around to guard, and his natural position is a center. I think playing out of position really hurt him, and now they're not even utilizing him over there. And that Raiders offensive line is banged up a ton. So, honestly, I think the Jets could swing like a 5th-round pick or a 6th-round pick to get him. I understand he's young still, but if you're not going to use him, I think the Jets could definitely be a team that takes a shot on him and could be seen as the center for the future so that we could keep Tippmann, who I think is a better guard, at right guard, and then possibly think about John Simpson for the future or Elijah Vera Tucker, depending on who you want to go with. So Jackson Powers Johnson, I think, is a very interesting move. Does he get dealt? I don't know. And if he does, I see the Packers as being a big landing spot for them. I know they have Jenkins as their center now, but I think if you get a natural center in there, I think that could boost up the Packers O-line as well. You said 2/5 as is. Ooh, I think it would get it done. I think one honestly could get it done. 1/5 in a pick swap. I can really, really see that because he's a young player, man. I don't see them utilizing him or utilizing his strengths at all coming up. But he's one that I'd be watching out for as well as the trade deadline comes up. Another player, too, that I can definitely see coming in. And there's been rumors about this guy as well. Marvin Mims. Now, the reason I bring Marvin Mims up, the resurgence of Troy Franklin over there. They got Sutton still. They got Franklin over there as well. Marvin Mims has been he hasn't been utilized a ton as a receiving threat. He's been more of a kickoff return, punt return type of guy, but he's got great speed and he's got solid hands as well. And I think he could be utilized in the slot and on the outside for this team. And the Jets were rumored to be interested in bringing in some kickoff and punt return help. Marvin Mims Jr., I think, could be that type of player. And if the Jets are really interested in it and trying to get somebody locked down for that position, could definitely see Marvin Mims being that type of player for the New York Jets and him fitting in well here. I would love Franklin too, but I think the Broncos love him, and I think Sean Payton loves to utilize him. You see, he had a very good day today against the Dallas Cowboys. Had a couple touchdowns for him. And it makes Marvin Mims expendable, in my opinion. I really think that he'd be willing, or the Broncos would be willing to part with him. Now, depends on the cost. Has a very big upside as a kick returner. So Broncos might be asking for more of like a 3rd or 4th round pick. Do the Jets pull the trigger on that? Or could they give a later round pick and a player? Who would you want to trade? So that's the type of question that the Jets have to be asking themselves. If they are really interested in bringing in some of these younger players, then it's something to ask yourself. Marvin Mims Jr., we have another Mims on the team, so I know somebody like Greenbean would probably like that because I know how much he liked Mims the last time. But Marvin Mims could be an option for us at the trade deadline if the Broncos were willing to part with him. Another player too, Adonai Mitchell. And the reason I bring up Adonai Mitchell is the Colts have a plethora of wide receivers. I think they really, really like Alex Pierce. I know that was somebody Jets fans wanted to target this offseason as in a trade. I think the Colts really like him. And I think they still have high upside for Josh Downs. And they still like Pittman, which leaves Adonai Mitchell on the outskirts. The guy's got tons of upside. Had a really rough rookie year. Has been getting a little more shots this year, but solid speed, solid outside type of receiver, good hands. I think he could be somebody who's had at the deadline as well for wide receiver needy teams. He's 23 years old. I think he fits this offense. I think he's a solid blocker as well. Somebody I think that could definitely be a target for the New York Jets too. And somebody who I think the Colts would be willing to part with. Now, continuing on to the next one, a guy that I keep bringing up. I love this kid, Xavier Legette. He's a powerful receiver, and I know Panthers fans are frustrated with him, but I think he's still got a ton of upside. He's only 24 years old. I think he's a very strong kid, and I just think a change of scenery might be really good for him, and would finally give the Jets like a solid number 2 receiver at a young age on a cheaper contract as well. So I'd really be interested in Xavier Legette as somebody as well. I'm a big fan of his. I know he hasn't had the best time in Carolina, so he could be somebody that I'd be willing to try to trade for if the Panthers are done with him. Going into the next one, Nakobe Dean. Here's an interesting one. I've been seeing rumors that he could be on the trade block, and the reasoning is because of injuries. He has been dealing with a lot of injuries in his career, and he just came back. When he's on the field, he's a great player, solid player, and somebody I could definitely see fitting the Jets as well, because the Jets need linebacker help. I know we might not bring back Quincy Williams, but why not bring somebody young in as well to help out with our linebacking core? I know Francisco Mauigoa has had his ups and downs, but I would like somebody consistent with Nakobe Dean. Now, I bring in up consistency. He does get injured, but when he's on the field, he is a threat. He can rush the passer. He's good in run defense, and somebody who's just physical as hell. So somebody that I would really like as well. Thank you so much, Dano. Great show as always. Remember to hit that like button. Make sure you guys, when you come in, hit that like. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. And we're going to continue. I want to be on here a little bit longer with you guys. I just wanted to come in and show my excitement, showing you guys how the Jets could tackle the trade market coming up with the deadline coming in a couple weeks, and just being happy that the Jets finally got a win. Oh, man, it feels good. And this was the type of game that the Jets can steal from people, that the Jets can steal from the Bengals. They're getting overlooked. And because they won today, that puts them at the second spot in the draft poll behind the Saints. Now, can you see the Saints going for a quarterback? Would they pull the trigger on Mendoza? I think so. At this point, Mendoza and Nussmeier are my top 2 guys. I really like Moore as well. Ty Simpson scares me going into talking about these young quarterbacks too. Ty Simpson scares me because he doesn't have that much starting experience. And he's looked great. The pocket awareness has been great in Alabama. But I don't know. It's just scary with him. That's why Nussmeier and Mendoza have been my top choices at this point. I was big on Sellers. He has not looked great. I think he ends up staying in college. But, man, I was big on Allar too. But that season-ending injury and just in general, just rough. It was rough for him coming out a couple weeks. But again, continuing on to this young market, one of the players that I also really like that I've seen possibly be on the trade market, Jordan Davis. Jordan Davis can play defensive end, can play defensive tackle. He's just a monster of a man who, if you bring him in, you can play him in the middle and bump Quinnen Williams on the outside and utilize him on one more one-on-one action as an edge rusher. And I think that would benefit him. I honestly think Jordan Davis could come in and be a monster on this defensive line and clog up some holes and give some issues to a lot of teams. And he's only 25. He's 6'6", 360 pounds, 336 pounds. I think he could be very good on this defensive line. It's somebody who I've seen rumored could be on the trade block as well, especially if this defense for the Eagles continues to struggle. Honestly, I think the Jets could definitely use a player like him for the foreseeable future. And getting into another one. This one's not one that I've seen a ton, but it would make sense since the Packers acquired Micah Parsons. Kingsley Enagbare, edge rusher, 25 years old, 6'4", 258 pounds. Young player, but getting limited playing time because they still have Rashawn Gary over there. They have Micah Parsons at their edge rushers. He's not getting as much playing time, and I think he's got really great talent as an edge rusher. Solid in the run game, great at pass rush. I think he could be a weapon as an edge rusher for the Jets as well. And I think the Jets need some more depth at the defensive edge position. So bringing this kid in could be very, very good for the New York Jets as well. I would love to see that. Somebody with fire, some passion, some fight, just like the Jets had today in their win over the Cincinnati Bengals. Another one, too, I have Chig Okonkwo. And Chig is an interesting one. He's a young tight end. The reason I've been interested in him, he's been on the trade block as well. And from what I've heard, young kid who's got a lot of talent, solid pass catcher, solid speed as a tight end as well. The Jets brought in Stone Smart. He's been injured. He hasn't played when he was healthy. Jeremy Ruckert hasn't really showed much either. We've had Jelani Woods that we've signed off the practice squad of the Colts too, and he got his first playing time today. Didn't really see much from him. Mason Taylor, I think, could utilize some or could get some help from this kid. I think he could be a very solid player for a younger quarterback coming in for the future as well. And I think just that offense isn't really suited for him in Tennessee. I think the Jets could definitely utilize him. I think Tanner Engstrand could do some stuff that would be fun for this kid and open up some things for Mason Taylor and Garrett Wilson when he comes back healthy as well. And continuing too, there was another player. I had more players on here as well, but I could bring up Shedeur Sanders. He's an interesting one that I thought as well. Shedeur Sanders hasn't been getting a lot of playing time because Dylan Gabriel has been the starter over there, and he's been playing pretty well. I don't think Shedeur Sanders is going to get any playing time now. So he's just riding away on the bench over in Cleveland. So throwing a late round pick over for him for a possible QB of the future could be solid. Tanner McKee from the Eagles as well I had on here. I think he could be solid. He's shown flashes that he could be a legit starting quarterback in this league. And if you wanted to go the older route too, Dak Prescott, I think, could be an interesting trade candidate to get for the Jets, especially for next year. Because if you're not comfortable with any of these quarterbacks coming out, because a lot of people that I've heard have come out and said that this is a weaker QB class. I don't think so. I think there's some really good QB talents in this draft. But if you're not interested in the younger guys, look what the Detroit Lions did. They traded for a veteran quarterback in Jared Goff, and they've been thriving since. So if Aaron Glenn wanted to follow the Dan Campbell way, then trading for a veteran quarterback like a Dak Prescott who could be on the move. I've heard rumors of possible Joe Burrow being on the move. I don't think that's going to happen at all. But a Dak Prescott could be a very interesting option for the Jets because when he's healthy, he is a legit top 10, top 7 quarterback in this league. He's led the league in passing before. He's a solid leader on the team as well. And the offense isn't the problem over in Dallas right now. It's that defense. The defense is awful. John Colora, I257. Thank you for your comment. For us, the Jets went out and made plays they don't usually make. Checked in on Bengals fans. They're blaming their defense. Yeah, in all honesty, it was their defense. And thank you, John, for your comment. The defense for the Bengals was a big issue, and it's been the big issue all year. They don't have a solid one, and now they're thinking about trading some of their better players like Cameron Taylor-Britt. I've seen things like him possibly getting traded to the Colts. And that loss was not on the offense today. The offense, with Joe Burrow leading the helm, went out and did what they had to do. They beat up on a Jets defense today. They scored a normal amount of points that you could win a game with. They had 38. You normally win games with 38 points in this league. But when your defense gives up 40 points a week, 39 points a week, that's an issue. And the Carolina Panthers fans have been dealing with that for multiple years now. 2 years now. Their defense has been awful. And it doesn't help when Trey Hendrickson comes back in after being injured and then gets hurt again, re-aggravates the hip. They don't have a pass rush. Their linebackers, Logan Wilson, came out earlier this week as well and requested a trade. That's a captain on their defense. The Bengals have done awful with trying to fix that defense. Jordan Battle, I like him as a safety, but he can get picked apart too. He's solid in the run game, but not a great pass defender. They're a young defense, and that's the biggest issue. The Bengals had no business losing the game against the Jets today. That defense cost them. Joe Flacco did everything he had to do to win it. And honestly, the Jets made the plays they needed to. Like you said, John, Mason Taylor made some big catches. Tyler Johnson had some big catches. Justin Fields made things happen with his legs and utilized his arm as well. Their defense had a lot of guys go down, but since he had 2 drives at the end and all they needed was 3, they failed. Yeah, I agree, but their defense wasn't good with even when they had players down. Their defense has struggled all year for Carolina or for Cincinnati. They have not been good all year. And I get that some of their players went down, but they had Trey Hendrickson come back today and still did not have Olaf Fashanu gave up 1 pressure today. That's typical for a Bengals defensive line. Their rush sucks. Their defensive pass rush stinks. But again, like you said, Dano, you were right. The Bengals did have drives down the field, and they were moving the ball to start. But the Jets defense, we got to give Steve Wilkes credit. He's come alive these past couple of weeks and has put these players in the right positions. And the Jets defense is very, very young. Malachi Moore got picked apart today. A.Z. Thomas got picked apart today. Oh, and Francisco Mauigoa had an up and down day today. The pass rush was very weak for the Jets too. They had 1 sack. Will McDonald finally got back on the board with a sack. But other than that, they give up some big runs to Joe Flacco as well. They give up some big pass yards, but the Jets defense came alive when they needed to. That's the biggest thing. They made the plays when they needed to, and that's why the Jets took it from them today. MVP John Simpson for knocking out Hendrickson. Yeah, honestly, I saw that. My worry was when I saw that the ref was going to throw a flag. I know it was a clean hit, but the Jets' luck is just a penalty because you hit another player when the ball was already thrown. I don't know. I always worry when John Simpson hits somebody because he's always going to get a penalty thrown for that. He was lucky not to get a penalty on him, even though I think it was a clean hit. But that's just the Jets' luck. And then we got John coming back. Cincinnati fans are taking it really hard. Some are saying fire everybody. Their head coach is on the hot seat. We've known this because Joe Burrow going down, even when he was playing, he did not look great in the beginning of the season. Browning, they tried Browning out there, did not look good. Now Flacco, you have an up week last week on Thursday. Bengals fans deserve to take this hard. With all that talent they have on offense and to still not be able to build a defense to protect it, that's a problem. And Taylor should be fired. If they can't turn this around, he should be fired. And there are coaches that I think are going to be available. Like I said, I had a list, and I'll even bring up my list of coaches because I've had ideas for videos, and I apologize to you guys too because I've been wanting to come out with more videos. Everything's just been hectic with work and everything, so I haven't had time to make more videos or to go live with you guys. So I'm loving that I can come on tonight with you guys. But I actually did make a list of coaches that could become available, or coaches that are definitely available that I think the Jets could have targeted if unfortunately AG got fired. But let's see, like a team like the Tennessee Titans, a team like the Cleveland Browns, if they're dumb enough to fire Stefanski. I think Stefanski is a great coach. And with that defense, they should be beating everybody. But for some reason, Jerry Jeudy's not playing like he did last year. Gabriel is a rookie. They're struggling. But let's say, for the rumors that we've heard, Ravens fire Harbaugh, the Bengals fire Taylor, the Browns fire Stefanski. There are some options for each of these teams to go out and hire some solid coaches. And I'd love to hear your opinion on some of these coaches as well, because some of their names were getting passed around last year. And for the first one that I got for you guys is a name that's been passed around a ton. Todd Monken. He's called some great offenses for the Baltimore Ravens. He's had Lamar Jackson playing great. He's only 59 years old. I think he deserves another shot as a head coach. He was a head coach for Tampa Bay for years and years ago. I think Cleveland would love a coach like that. I think, honestly, he'd be perfect for Tennessee right now. Get him with a young quarterback like Cam Ward. He's seen so much football. He's gotten to work with Lamar Jackson. If you hired Todd Monken as the head coach for the Tennessee Titans, let's say, I think that could be amazing for them and amazing for Cam Ward's growth as well. But he's a coach that I thought about. If the Jets were to fire AG, he could be an option for us. Another guy that I saw too, that I thought about, Doug Peterson. He's a Super Bowl winning coach. He's not in football right now. If one of these teams fired their coaches, why couldn't they go after Doug Peterson? I could see him if McDaniels gets fired from Miami. I could see him going there. I could see him going to Tennessee. I could see him going to Cleveland. Getting these offensive guys in there. Because with these teams too, they need some more offensive juice. Cincinnati, not really. But I think getting a new mind in there, somebody who's won a Super Bowl, to get somebody in there with a pedigree, a solid one, who got Trevor Lawrence to the playoffs a couple years ago, I think that could be definitely beneficial for him. This was somebody I would see as the Jets head coach if Glenn got fired, but we know that's not going to happen. In my opinion, I don't think it's going to happen, especially after a big win like this. I think the Jets are going to carry this momentum, get a couple more wins as the season goes on. Another coach too, Mike McCarthy's still out there. I know a lot of teams are going to be interested in him. You might not like him, but he had a lot of winning seasons with Dallas. Got them to win 13 games a year, 12, 11 games a year. Got them to the playoffs a bunch. Yeah, he didn't win in the playoffs, but he got them there and won. Got Dak playing at a very high level. He's a coaching candidate that's going to be very, very interested. People are going to be very interested in. Another one, too, that we're going to talk about. John Gruden. I think he gets to come back into football at some point. He's itching to get back into the game. And I could definitely see him being a coach in Cleveland or Tennessee. I could definitely see him loving there. There's going to be a ton of coaching opportunities for a lot of these guys. Another one, too. One of my favorites from last year, Brian Flores. I still think he's going to get interviews. I think he's going to be a head coach in this league again. I think he deserves to be a head coach in this league again. He's got that defense in Minnesota playing very well. It's the offense that's killing them. Justin Jefferson getting frustrated over there. But Brian Flores, I think, deserves another head coaching chance. Another one as well. Cliff Kingsbury. He's honestly going to get another coaching job at some point. He's one of my favorite coaches. He was somebody that I really wanted as an offensive-minded guy last year. My 3 choices were Brian Flores, AG, and Cliff Kingsbury. He's somebody I think is definitely going to get a job. John, I was impressed that the Jets won an upset with so many injured players. I'm critical of AG, but hope he's turning things around. And I think, honestly, John, you're right. A ton of people have been really critical of AG. I think we're harder on him, in my opinion, is because he is a Jet. He's been with the Jets as a scout, as a player for many years. He knows what it's like here. And for him to not get that success right away, to bring in basically the mentality of my way or the highway, let's say, the way he's talked to the media. Like earlier this week, people were getting pissed off at him because of his interaction with the media of not naming a quarterback. Now, does it happen with other teams? Yeah, probably. But just to be attacking the media like he has, he's come off with so much bravado. And at the time, being a team that hasn't won a game, he hasn't proved anything as a head coach. So understandably so that fans are very critical of him. He should be criticized. He's had some very bad decisions in this year. He really has. But he is a Jet. The players seem to love him and to fight for him. They proved that today. He seems to really love it here as well. He wanted this job. And honestly, if he can start changing that momentum for the Jets, I really think he could be a solid coach for us. For example, like Brian Daboll, when he was first hired with the Giants, he brought them to the playoffs. He was coach of the year. What's he done since? He's been on the hot seat ever since then. And if they don't turn it around this year, I don't even know if Jackson Dart will be able to save him. A guy like Mike McDaniels has been great with Miami, has gotten them to the playoffs, has not had great success, but earlier in his tenure, had a ton of success. We're seeing coaches like Ben Johnson getting Caleb Williams to play great, getting the Bears to win games. He's getting them to win. Steve Cohen over in Jacksonville, getting them to win. These are new coaches. And I think seeing them have this much success, and for the Jets who have talent on their team to struggle this much, nobody thought the Jets were going to start out 0-7 and now be 1-8 or 1-7. I didn't think that. I thought they would have at least won a couple games. And for the way that we've lost too, damn right AG deserved to be criticized for it. I thought the players deserved to be criticized as well. They haven't been good. Today was the day that I was actually proud of this team. From what AG said in the press conference, this is a team that he wants Jets fans to be proud of. This was the first time all year that I was actually proud of this team because of how they fought, of what they did, the struggle that they dealt with. Because the defense in the first half, when they went into the half being down what they were, I thought it was just going to be another game like we've suffered through all year. The Jets defense did not seem to know how to stop Joe Flacco in that offense. And even in the second half, the beginning of the second half, they still didn't. That offense is so talented over there. They got weapons. But again, they fought. Justin Fields had a bounce back game. And again, it's not going to jump off the page with his numbers. But this is what we need Justin Fields to do. We need him to be consistent, not turn over the ball, can't hold the ball too long. Get your legs involved. Get Breece Hall involved in the run game and the pass game. I think a shout out. I think Justin Fields deserves a lot of credit for this win. I think Tanner Engstrand, who's been taking a lot of heat as well for his play calls, deserves a lot of credit. I think the defense, they struggled, but I think them and Wilkes deserve a lot of credit. I think they are turning things around. I think it is rough for the Jets right now. I don't think they're going to win many more games, honestly. But if they can be competitive and just fight and be in every single game, that's a team that I'm going to be proud of. That's a team that I can see building off of. Because going back into the beginning of this year, AG, when we brought him in, this was a talent evaluation year. We never thought that Michael Clemens was going to stay on this team. Gibson was going to be on this team in the beginning of the year. And then they cut him after week 1. They learned from their mistake and they cut him. I was impressed with how well AG bounced back from the mistakes that he made in the prior weeks. I think he's growing as a coach. I think he's learning on the job. I think he's doing a pretty good job. I think today was his best day coaching. They finally got a win. And again, I think Jets fans should be proud of what he did today, of what this team did. Now, are they going to continue? The road doesn't look much easier. We got a bye week, and then we got some tough teams coming up. We got Baltimore coming up in a couple of weeks. We got to fight the Patriots twice still after they had a big win today as well. Patriots look like they're back to being the top team in the division, which sucks. Buffalo, we got to play again at the end of the season. We still got a long way to go. We got to play Cleveland as well. And that defense, I'm terrified of that defense, especially with Myles Garrett. There's a lot of things that Jets fans, we got to be worried about going forward, but be proud today. Be proud today. AG got his first win. Congratulations to him. This team fought, had a big comeback win in Cincinnati. They end up winning 39-38. Nick Folk, again, consistent. McNamara, looking like one of the best punchers in the game. Fields, looking like the Fields that he looked like last year in Pittsburgh when he was winning. This is what we needed. This is a game that should give us hope. Hope for growth. Hope for a positive moving forward. Now, big thing is, what are we going to do at the trade deadline? That's my big question. I'm interested to see, because we're seeing all these players rumored. We're seeing like players like Rashid Shaheed, Chris Olave, could DJ Moore be on the move. We're seeing all these big name players coming up. Do the Jets go after some of these guys? In my opinion, I think the Jets should sell some of these pieces. Michael Carter II, I think, should be traded and get whatever you can from him for him. He has not panned out, and we have his replacement. Breece Hall, I don't think I would trade. I think he's very important to this offense. I go back and forth with him. Should they trade him? Probably. He's an aging back that he's still young, but for a running back, he's aging and he's dealt with a lot of injuries. Do we trade him? I think we can get something back for him. I think it would have to be a third or a couple of picks for him. Something to be able to trade him. Jermaine Johnson, I think he shouldn't go anywhere. He's a building block. The only two players that I don't think should be traded on this team, and I'll be honest with you, is Jermaine Johnson and Garrett Wilson. Everybody else, if they traded him, I'd be like, okay. Quinnen too. I love Quinnen. But again, he's an aging defensive tackler. We got Harrison Phillips for a couple of years. We got Jawan Briggs as well. They've looked good. They've looked solid. I think you can get back a haul for Quinnen Williams. Anything less than a 1, I'm not doing it. I won't. Quincy Williams. I know San Francisco would love to have him. Jamie Sherwood, I don't think is going to get traded either after getting that big contract. But I'd love to hear what you guys think down in the comments as well. Do you think the Jets are going to be players at the deadline? Nothing drastic. Not going after like an A.J. Brown or anything like that. I doubt they make a massive move like that. But are there some sneaky under the radar guys you think the Jets could go after? But again, guys, be proud. The Jets finally win their game. Finally get on the board with 1. They win 39-38 in Cincinnati on a big comeback win. Justin Fields balls out. Breece Hall balls out as well. The defense comes up big when we need them to. Be proud today, guys. And prayers out to Nick Mangold and his family. It sucks. Jets, Jets. He's a Jet through and through forever. Heart and soul of the team for many years. Prayers go out to his family. And again, guys, thank you so much for joining me in the JETS Jets Ward. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate all the comments. Dano, John, thank you guys so much for commenting. I appreciate you. Anybody who comes in after, make sure you leave comments as well. I'll be sure to answer them for you guys. And again, guys, I love you. I hope to do more live streams with you guys. I hope to have some people on as well. Let me know on X, message me if you ever want to come on live on this show. I would love to have you. And again, thank you guys so much, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye, guys. Have a good night.
The Jets Ward.